Together by Jade Bokhari. Elevated horror. As an apocalyptic asteroid heads to Earth, a bereaved father hunts down his child's killer, so dead or alive, his family is together to face the end. Black screen.
There's something quite biblical about the asteroid that's coming to end us all.
Fade in, England 2018. Exterior woodland glade, night. A dirt-coated black BMW butts up to the trees. Its headlights glint up the dust that hangs in the air. Spa, spa.
It is fitting that I leave you with the last words of our Lord Jesus Christ. His teachings have given me solace in every darkness, and...
Professor Joe Bleecker, 50, is calf deep in a hole. He digs. Spa, spa. Elbow patches on an old jacket, mud clumps in his beard. His arms windmill as shovels of earth fly over his shoulder. Spa. He glances round at the giant holes that gape around him. He wipes sweat from his brows and taps his cell phone. BBC News, a repeat feed. The Queen stares out of his phone screen. No crown, no pearls, just a black dress, pink eyes, and gray skin. The banner below reads, recorded live at 6 p.m. July 13th, 2018. The ticking clock beside it shows the time 10 p.m. Joe peers at her. The sound of his car radio and his phone steam offset by a split second. It's a haunting echo.
In our final hours again, I turn to him. Father, into your hands I command my spirit.
Joe stares up. No clouds. A speck with a faint fire trail high up and moving in the night sky. The blood vessels of Joe's eyes are as pink and frayed as the Queen's.
Pater in manus taus commendo spiritum menum.
He bows his head in prayer as he leans on his shovel.
May God have mercy on us all. May God bless us all.
Joe stares at a worm near the edge of his shovel. He shoves his phone in his trouser pocket. The screen light ghosts through the fabric. He scoops up the earth beneath the worm and lifts it to safety, settling it on a clump of daisies. Spa, spa. He digs faster, airborne soil lit by the car headlights as it arcs to fall behind him. The phone streams silent.
This is a recording. It will repeat every 15 minutes.
Joe scrapes his shovel through the earth. Nothing but mud. He lurches out and trudges to a mound. It moves. It's human.
Thank you, Your Majesty. Nothing has changed since my last message.
Joe glares at man, 65, prone at his feet. He crawls to lean against a tree trunk. Joe fishes out his phone and turns on the torch app. He lights up man. Blood seeps from his wounds. Dirt, a smirk, and a Gucci suit. On the flip side of the phone, the BBC shows the Prime Minister, Theresa May, in an unusually plain black dress with pink eyes and pallor to match the Queen and Joe. Her image flickers over Joe's face. They both look haggard. The Prime Minister's lips move, but her face is shock-frozen.
For all our technology, weapons, and science, our governments have failed our world. I have failed you.
Joe and the man eyeball as the car radio and phone spew.
And in God we hope.
In Deo speramus.
Man winces in pain and croaks out a laugh.
Ah, yes. The professor of the dead language. I wonder if they speak Latin in the afterlife.
Single-handed Joe rams his shovel into the man's leg.
Ah!
Joe stares down like justice. The shadow of a branch shades his eyes, a shovel instead of a sword. Instead of scales, his phone, the zeitgeist vessel of instant social and traditional media opinion, analysis, and judgment. Man stares up into phone torchlight.
The blast wave will hit Great Britain at approximately 11:30 p.m. All electrical and communication systems will cease at...
Joe dashes to the car and slaps off the radio. He glances up. The speck is bigger. The fire trail distinct orange. He scrams back to man. The sweat drips off Joe's brows.
Please, please, it can't matter to you now.
Joe's phone, the ringtone, a repeating melancholic piano phrase, he ignores it. Man grins into the torchlight. Tears track through the dirt on Joe's face. Man wriggles against the tree to get comfortable.
Where is she? Where is my Tessie? Where? Where?
Joe's voice rasps everywhere, coupled with a kick that a mule would envy. He stares at his phone, a Skype call. Ellie, 5, a mini Joe with bangs, bunches, and a rumpled brow.
Daddy? Daddy, did you find her?
Joe sniffs back tears as he sees his daughter.
Come on, Professor. Don't blame yourself. Few marriages survive the death of a kid. Can't argue with statistics. You should know that.
Joe snarls.
You despicable bastard. What did you do? Watch all the parents implode?
Australia. Congratulations. Your wife ran the furthest.
You.
Daddy?
How many children did you kill?
Phone screen, Alice 45, academic sharp, elegant and today with barely concealed cracks. She crowds the phone screen and pulls Ellie into her lap.
Joe, we can't see you.
Man blinks in the torchlight. He can't see the phone screen.
My wife. Ex-wife. Didn't take long for your other brat to pick that accent, did it?
Man smirks.
Please. Please.
Phone screen, Ellie turns to Alice.
Mummy, where's Daddy gone?
Joe wipes his face and taps the car keep fob. The BMW's trunk springs open. Inside, a giant teddy with a huge pink bow. Joe finally looks into the phone.
Ellie, look. She's all yours.
He turns the phone camera at the teddy. Man stares along at Joe with the teddy and then screws up his eyes as he glares at the sky. The asteroid's fire reflects tiny orange trails in his pupils. Man crawls to another tree and scrabbles at the earth.
Ellie, pretend you're hugging her, like you used to hug me.
Joe props the phone up in the teddy's lap, the camera aimed at Teddy's face as Joe gawps at the man. Joe sprints to the tree, shoves the man away, and burrows like a starving dog, unearths his last bone, fabric. He scrapes the dirt and tugs it out. It's a shroud. Inside, a child's decomposed body, a doll in her arms.
Joe, for God's sake, where have you gone? What are you doing?
The man rolls to stare at Joe as he cradles the body and doll and mews like a dying animal. Phone screen. Alice peers closer to the phone screen.
Joe, what's that sound?
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom.
Shrunch. Joe smashes his brogue into the man's head.
No! You go to hell!
Joe!
Daddy, where are you?
Joe gazes at man's foot, flinches as he dies.
Live breaking news. This is not a recording. We have a live message from the Prime Minister. We have a chance. A group of scientists have given us one last hope.
Joe's jaw drops as he stares at the car radio. Man bleeds out at Joe's feet. Joe rushes to the car trunk and shushes Alice and Ellie on the Skype call with his finger. He snatches the phone up from Teddy's lap and holds it in the direction of the car radio.
A coalition of jet fighters are in the air launching multiple warheads as I speak.
Phone screen. Alice hugs a confused Ellie.
Our fervent hope is that the impacts will change the asteroid's trajectory back into the mesosphere where we think it will burn up or continue into space.
Phone screen. Alice weeps. Relief shines in her eyes as she kisses Ellie's head repeatedly.
It's best conjecture. It is literally our last hope. So we need all of our prayers, positive thoughts, everything aimed up there now. Let's just pray.
The car radio cuts to a rousing rendition of Jerusalem.
And did those feet in ancient time walk upon England's mountain greens?
Joe slaps off the car radio.
We can see it on TV.
Joe peers up. The jet fighters look like a hornet cloud flying past the moon towards the tiny flame ball. Joe eases the doll from the body's hug. He clasps the body to his chest and props up the doll in Teddy's lap.
Ellie, Alice, look who I found.
Look, Mommy,
you found
it's
our
Dolly.
baby.
Where's Tessie?
Joe, oh God, Joe, I shouldn't have left. I want to hold her. We should be together.
Joe's face is a mess of tears. Alice's too. He cradles the body and picks up the phone and keeps the camera on his face.
You found him. You found the...
None of that matters now. We're together now.
But what if it doesn't work?
Joe glances at the jets.
Alice, I've got our baby. We're all together now. We're together. Go play on the beach, Ellie. I'll keep Dolly and Teddy safe.
Shh. The cell dies. The torch goes out. He jabs redial. Nothing. He holds the phone onto the beam of the BMW's headlights. His battery is out of juice. He kisses the body's head.
Tessie, my beautiful little girl.
He arranges Teddy and doll by a tree trunk. He settles in between them and cradles Tessie's body.
Once upon a time, in a nearby...
Joe watches the jets launch a spray of fiery missiles into the inky space between them and the asteroid. Fade out.